Okay, well, good morning, everybody. Very punctual. Thanks for getting here and taking half an hour to join us today. We'll give it a minute or two just for the stragglers, the latecomers to arrive. And in a minute or two, we'll get cracking. So if you want to get yourself a glass of water or anything, now's your time, and we'll get going in a minute. I can see we've got a few people already. I think we've got Sean down in the Algarve, probably full of Brits, the Algarve now. I bet you're absolutely swarmed with British tourists, I'm sure. See, we've got Andy down in La Manga, probably not yet. Probably swarmed with Spanish. Iris in Croatia, very good, nice to see you. Hannes in Austria, I think. Hannes, I think it's Austria, is he? Matt, do you remember Austria?
I believe so. Yeah.
I think so. And Alexandra as well, I see. Hello to you. So very good. Well, as I say, thanks for joining us for this webinar today. Delighted to have Sharon from Booking.com with us on the call. Say hello, Sharon.
Hi everyone. Yeah, it's great to be here today. So thanks very much for having me on the webinar.
Fantastic, delighted to have you with us. And most of you will probably know Matthew. So say hello, Matthew.
Hi all, good morning, welcome.
Very good.
Nice to see you all, familiar faces, or names at least.
Yeah, so today we're going to be looking at how to use Booking.com's promotional tools to, well, increase your visibility, increase your bookings, and hopefully increase your revenue. And it's not all about dropping prices, far from it. They've got a lot in there that will help you achieve that. So we're going to take a look at the promotional tools that Booking.com offer. Sharon will take you through them, and then we'll throw it over to Matthew, who will show you how they can be configured from within the Channel Manager Pro. We've been busy developing this at Avantio so that those promotional tools from Booking.com will be inside the Channel Manager Pro, and it's something that you'll be able to configure from within inside Avantio without necessarily having to go to Booking.com. So that's very, very good news. I think most of the people in the call are clients, recognize a lot of the names, but it is open to anyone and everyone. So if you don't know about Avantio or you're not a client of Avantio, Avantio has a channel manager, one of the original channel managers in the sector, and we partner with numerous portals and OTAs, and Booking.com is clearly one of the most prominent ones, and we've worked with Booking.com for a number of years now. I'm just letting in a couple more people into the call. So we are a channel manager, we are a PMS as well, and we also have online booking websites as well. So as I say, Sharon is going to take you over the promotional tools. Matthew's going to show you the Avantio side of things, and we will have a bit of a Q&A at the end. So if you do have any questions on anything, then please do put them in the chat, and when we come to the end of the call, we'll go through them with Sharon and Matthew. So without further ado, I'll throw it over to Sharon. Sharon, all yours.
Great, thanks very much, Kyle. Yeah, so really good to be here this morning, and just to introduce myself. I suppose, shall I maybe start sharing my screen first? Really, to introduce myself, my name's Sharon Kellett. I am an account manager for the London team. So I'm based in London. I'm primarily looking after the homes and apartments segment within Booking.com. And yeah, I've been in the company for about 4.5 years now. So yeah, always been looking after the homes and apartments segment. And yeah. So while I'm sharing my screen, I will just mute my video to help with the bandwidth. My Wi-Fi is known to be a little bit dodgy from working from home. Perfect. So I probably don't need to tell you all that last year and the impact of COVID has been incredibly challenging for our industry, and especially with the continued lockdowns and many restrictions. And although the rate of recovery will depend on the success and the speed of the vaccine rollout, we are seeing some really encouraging trends in many countries of that pent-up demand coming back. And today I'd like to take you through a bit of a look back at the 2020 trends and the trends that we've seen emerge off the back of the pandemic, what we believe the trends to look like for the rest of 2021 and beyond, and then some of the initiatives that we're doing from Booking.com to really help with the recovery of travel. So looking back at 2020, it's perhaps unsurprising that the trend for domestic travel really increased. And overall, between April and July last year, actually 70% of the total room nights booked on our platform were for domestic stays. And with that increase in domestic travel, it really makes sense that many people drove to their destination and drove to more rural destinations. So places, smaller towns away from the crowds. And then with many offices being closed last year and employees being confined to their homes, especially like myself, many took that opportunity to really combine business with leisure. And we've seen a trend emerge for longer stays and of work or remote working. And homes and apartments were really a favorite for this type of remote working, and I think mainly due to the privacy that they have, the space that they have, and their extensive list of amenities that are really suitable for home working, and things like Wi-Fi, desks to work at. And from April to June last year, homes and apartments accounted for 40% of all of our new bookings, so really, really high. And then just looking back throughout 2020 at the hotel occupancy rates for European countries, we've seen that pretty much a very similar trend throughout Europe, with Italy there highlighted in yellow, consistently underperforming compared to its peers, more or less because of the coronavirus hitting Italy quite hard during the first wave. Very much we can see there that there was quite a pickup then from June and July and August in the summer months, but then from October we started to see that trend really go downward again, with second waves of coronavirus happening in many countries and new lockdowns and restrictions being put in place. And as pretty much everywhere else, European vacation rentals showed stronger performance than hotels in 2020. And this is just looking at occupancy rate data from Transparent, which shows that vacation rentals had a really strong, a strong rebound in July, with many only registering a 10 to 30% drop in occupancy rates. And however, no European country performed as well as the US, where we could really see there that occupancy rates were equaling almost 2019 levels from much of Q3 and Q4. And then taking a look at trends and predictions for 2021, Booking.com predicted or drew some research among more than 20,000 participants across 28 countries and predicted some trends that will really shape the future of travel in this coming year and beyond. First one looks at the health and safety. So our research showed that 70% of people would only book a property if they knew what hygiene and health policies were in place. And in the past year, we introduced our own specific health and safety features, which gives you a chance to display any extra measures that you're taking as a result of coronavirus. And if you haven't got these updated, really good opportunity to really fill that out, because we've seen the partners who have that information loaded gets up to 11% more bookings with us. 62% of travellers had said that they will be more price conscious when searching for and planning their next trip. So really important to ensure that you're competitively priced and offering your good value to potential customers. And we'll go a little bit into different tools and products you can use to really attract customers that are searching for your area at the moment. We've also predicted that travellers will become more aware of the wider impact of their trips. And 53% of customers said that they were looking for more sustainable ways to travel. And a bit of a quick plug here is that we've just recently launched new sustainability features on the extranet, which you can fill out to let customers know any extra measures that you're taking. And some very good news as well is that we found out that 65% of travellers reported feeling really excited about travelling again, which is a really good indication of pent-up demand. And a very similar trend to 2020 in that we see that this year will be another year of domestic travel, with 47% of customers reporting that they would stay within their own countries in the coming year. And also another continuing trend from last year as well, in that the trend for remote working will continue, with many offices still closed. And 37% of customers said that they would happily quarantine if they could work remotely, which would include myself as well. And the speed at which governments can really administer the COVID-19 vaccinations will be really key in unlocking that leisure demand again in 2021. And both within the US and the UK, they've had quite successful vaccine rollouts, and we've really seen some encouraging booking trends in these countries, which really support the view that vaccines will be key to unlocking that pent-up demand. And here we've got 77% of customers reporting that they would be more likely to travel internationally once they've had a vaccine, and 86% reporting that they would be more likely to travel domestically. And I think it's safe to say that everyone needs a holiday after this last year, and it probably comes as no surprise that 74% will spend more time choosing their destination this year. And I think really planning those birthdays and extra celebrations that they missed out on in the last year. And what's really interesting is that 72% will spend more time selecting their accommodations. So perhaps choosing between a hotel or an apartment. So really important to ensure that you're displaying and showcasing your USPs. And then 66% will spend more time reading reviews. So equally important to reply to all of those reviews as well. And 70% will spend more time finding things to do. So really important or a good opportunity to be showcasing any activities that's near your properties, both on your extranet and within your guest communication as well. So next, we'll take a look at how the different things that we're doing to help your business recover and to support our partners. First, we'll take a look at some marketing initiatives that we've launched over the past year to really help capture and generate travel demand. We'll take a look at the new market demand dashboard, where you can access to see the local demand within your area. And then some strategic initiatives and programs that we have that can help you increase your bookings on our platform. So one of the key marketing initiatives last year was our wish list campaign. You may have seen this via the mobile app, but the campaign was where customers had to download the Booking.com app, add 3 properties to their wish list, and then in return for that, they would get a travel credit. It was a hugely successful campaign, and it really helped to keep travel at the forefront of customers' minds over the past year. It also resulted in over 65 million wish lists being created and over 50 million downloads of the app. And then our most recent campaign, which has just been launched, and this is specifically for the UK, but it's called the Welcome Back to Travel campaign. What it is that customers only have to make a booking via the app, and they can get up to £200 back in credit to use for their next bookings and next stays. So this is fully funded by Booking.com, and it doesn't involve any reduction to your rate. But the main objective of the campaign is really to help customers rediscover travel and also to capture any demand that's out there. And next, we will look at the market demand dashboard. So this is a new program or a new dashboard that has been launched within the last year, which helps to give you insights into the customer booking demand that's coming through into your specific area. You can find this information on the homepage of your extranet by selecting the tab Data. And it will give you information there of customers who have searched your destination within the last 14 days. So the different segments of what you can look at is you can look at the source of business, which is a really interesting one because this lets you look at which countries are booking into your area. So a good one to keep an eye on for when restrictions are lifted and to see that international travel coming back again. The traveler type looks at where you can compare the different sizes of groups that are booking into your area. So solo travelers versus child and families versus couples. You can also look at the device used. So if customers are booking via their mobile or via desktop or tablet. Book policies as well. So you can see the split of non-refundable bookings versus free cancellation bookings coming through. You can also search how far in advance customers are booking and searching for, and also the length of stay that customers are searching for as well. So it's a really key dashboard which can help you make data-driven and informed decisions to really capture that demand that's coming through. And along with some of the global campaigns and marketing initiatives that we're doing, there's also a lot of smaller local campaigns and targeted programs that you can do to help your business recover. So 2 of the main ones are our mobile rates and our country rates. The mobile rates is a really good opportunity there to capture our fastest growing segment of bookers. At the minute, over 2/3 of our bookings globally are coming through via a mobile rate or coming through via the mobile. So a mobile rate is a really good way to attract these customers. The mobile rate gives you additional tagging on a mobile device. So it helps to really make your property stand out. And then country rates is where you can apply a specific rate for a country, where perhaps if you can see customers are searching from a specific country and you want to target those, you can add a country rate through to help increase bookings from those set countries. So also a really key one to target different business. Flexibility is also a huge trend at the moment in our industry, but also through Booking.com as well. our data shows that 77% of travellers want the flexibility to modify their bookings, and nearly half have said that free cancellation is a must. So we can help if you've got a lot of properties, we can help in terms of changing your policy and your cancellation policy in bulk. And at the moment, we're seeing roughly around 3/4 of bookings coming through on a free cancellation policy. So really important to have a flexible policy and to ensure that it's flexible enough to be competitive. We'd also recommend to have a non-refundable rate as well. You can set up many different rate plans, either on booking.com or through Avantio. And we'd always recommend to have at least two, where you've got your free cancellation rate and your non-refundable. Normally, the non-refundable will sit just below your standard rate at a slightly more attractive price. And the real benefit of that is to really decrease cancellations, and any booking that comes through on a non-refundable at the moment is beneficial in terms of securing revenue and securing cash flow as well. Also, if you're looking to really target a longer length of stay, it's beneficial to have length of stay pricing or weekly and monthly rates set up through us, because it will really help to be more attractive to those longer length of stay bookings. And equally so, to target different segments of customers, it's beneficial to have occupancy-based pricing to attract solo travellers and different sized groups, but also child rates to really drive your visibility among families. And then two of our original programs across Booking.com to really help drive your visibility and long-term performance are the Genius and the Preferred program. The Preferred program is an exclusive program for our top 30% performing programs. And in return for a slightly increased commission, you can get a lot of extra greater visibility on the platform. This is in terms of the thumbs up symbol that you get, which acts as the Booking.com seal of approval for your property. And it also helps to get you a lot more visibility in terms of a ranking boost, and it can get you up to 65% more page views without having to affect your rate. So a really powerful tool there. If you are eligible for it, it's worth checking out. And then Genius is our other long-term performing program. It's an exclusive marketing program designed to really give our best partners more exposure on the platform. And by joining Genius, you get extra visibility through the special Genius tag, also through ranking boosts and better results or search results in your on the search results page. So you get added to the Genius filter as well. And on average, partners who've joined the Genius program see up to 29% more bookings overall. And then some additional things that we're doing to help your business recover. We've got 24/7 customer support to help with any operational or customer or reservation related queries that you have, and also from the customer side as well. We've just launched a really comprehensive COVID-19 related content section in the Partner Hub. So I'd really recommend checking that out if you haven't already. It's got some really good articles and opportunities in there. Also, we've been leveraging marketing channels to really get any extra demand or capture any extra demand that's out there. This is ranges from social media campaigns through advertising on the likes of Instagram and Facebook, to also some TV campaigns as well. We've also introduced specific COVID-19 fine print and terms that you can have reflected on the front end of your property to let customers know of any restrictions that's at your property or any additional measures that you're taking. And also, we mentioned before the health and safety measures, which you can add via the property section on your extranet. And we also mentioned it before, but the visibility of flexible rates. We've introduced a new free cancellation filter on the front end, and that's actually quickly growing to be our most popular filter as well. So it's a really key trend and important to ensure that your rates are flexible. And just before I hand over to Matthew, just to quickly summarize what you can start doing today, I'd recommend really checking out both the analytics tab of your extranet to find out how your property is performing and properties, but also the homepage to look at the demand that's coming through into your area, and use that data to make informed, data-driven decisions for your property. Check your pricing foundations. If you don't have a flexible rate, I would really recommend having that to really capture that demand that's coming through onto our channel at the moment, but also applying a non-refundable rate to help protect against cancellations and to secure more revenue. Look at how you can use pricing to attract families and different sizes of customers through both the occupancy-based pricing and through child rates. And then really just stay informed as well. So check out that Partner Help Centre for really lots of tailored COVID-19 content to really help with your business recovery. And then lastly, for tailored options for your property, check out the Opportunity Centre on your extranet or your group Opportunity Centre on your group homepage to see what we're suggesting to help your business perform and convert on the platform. Thanks very much. So now I'll hand over to Matthew, I think.
You can do, Sharon. Thank you very much. A great presentation and a lot of in-depth analysis of the current trends that we've certainly seen over the last year. A good outline of the initiatives provided by Booking.com and some really good useful tips on how to get the most of your listings and your properties when connected through this channel. I'm just going to present my screen now. So I don't know if you want to stop sharing. Sharon?
Yeah, I will.
Perfect. Just make sure I'm on the right one. Where are we? Okay, perfect. So thank you all for joining again. For those that are certainly working at the moment with Avantio, I'm sure we've spoken numerous times in the past. My name's Matthew from the connectivity department. So I'm responsible for the English speaking market and all of our customers across the world within that sector and market. Following on from the presentation of Sharon, I would like to continue by explaining how these features and actions can be implemented directly from Avantio and focus especially on the Channel Pro. Okay. So what we're going to see over the next few slides is an overview of how these can be implemented from the Channel Pro. For those of you using Avantio and connected to Booking.com, you will have already been migrated to the Channel Pro. So you will have seen that it is much more user-friendly, certainly mobile-friendly also, and gives you a good improved experience and certainly much more information provided. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a moment's time. Using the Channel Pro, you'll also have greater flexibility with customized tools, so the occupation rules and your cancellation policies. So these can be directly implemented and configured from the Channel Pro itself. Through our performance center, you will also be provided with improvement tips, so performance tips of how to enhance your listings, increase your booking conversion, and again, ensure you're optimizing your listings as best possible when connected from the Avantio VRMS right through to the extranet of Booking.com. And finally, our most or newest feature is the promotions option. So I'll speak more about that in a moment's time, but in the next few weeks, we're going to be launching officially the promotions tab, the promotions module within the Channel Pro. And this will allow you to set up some of those promotions that Sharon has explained directly from Avantio. And all in all, when using a channel manager, whether connected to various different channels and especially Booking.com, the idea behind that is to reduce time by having everything in one place, being able to configure certain modules, certain sections, and in this case, promotions directly from Avantio. So we're going to talk more about that in a moment. Okay. So within the Channel Pro, again, for those of you using Avantio, you'll certainly be or understand fully now how the Channel Pro is working. This is our most up-to-date channel manager, in which we are in the process of migrating all of our existing connections from the current channel manager into the Channel Pro. So using the Channel Pro, again, you're getting a lot more in terms of the different features, the compatibilities, and improved synchronization and performance, and also lots of new features that are just going to help you manage your properties and certainly be much more flexible. And I think that was one of the key words from Sharon's presentation in terms of how we can certainly pick up on that and use this current situation and the current trends to your benefit and get the most out of that. So from the My Business section, this is the home screen within the Channel Pro, and this will provide you with up-to-date statistics relating to your bookings received directly from each of the channels, the top performing channels, and also the distribution of your sales, of your bookings, whether through each channel or also by country. So we can link those to the promotions and the geo rate promotions available in Booking.com. So here we'll give you an overview and a summary of how those channels are performing for you. You can use this to apply different promotions, different strategies moving forward to help you improve and again, get the most out of all the connected channels that you have within the channel itself. From the My Business section, you can view statistics by periods and compare these periods with the same time of the previous year. So again, this is going to give you a good overview and a good summary of how each of those channels are performing. Not only are you seeing a booking comparative using the occupation percentage and the sales amounts, but there are also a number of different charts outlining the top performing channels, the top performing properties, again, where those bookings are coming from by country, and other such information that are just going to give you a good overview of how those portals are performing for you. Okay. Now, within the Channel Pro, we now have the option to apply occupation rules directly from the channel manager itself. So this will allow you to define customized minimum and maximum stay periods, and also the permitted days of check-in and check-out. Now, this isn't only for portal, but per accommodation as well. So you can set this up at account level for all of your properties or specific properties if you wish to do so, and apply this to the portals that are currently available inside of the Channel Pro. Okay, so this is a good idea to understand, again, using the My Business section, how many bookings are coming from each channel, what type of bookings. You may be connected to certain OTAs that generally provide you with longer stays, maybe family bookings and holidays during the summer months. So you can utilize the occupation rules here within the Channel Pro to kind of specify different rules per portal, and also from your website as well, from the VRMS. So this will help you and again, improve that flexibility when managing the number of bookings being received from different portals. So it may well be the case that you're quite happy to receive 7-day or 2-week bookings from guests from certain portals, but for those others, such as Booking.com, you have the option of reducing that minimum stay just for booking. Also the check-in and check-out dates, really to manage best the properties that you have activated. So this is a good tool, certainly to use to kind of apply different rules to different portals. You can also use the functions available within the VRMS, whether that be discounts or supplements, to kind of offset. So if you are looking at reducing the minimum stay to a 2 or 3 night stay, you can also look at using the supplement options available in the VRMS, or of course the discounts if you wish to discount down from a higher base rate. Also within the Channel Pro are the cancellation policies. So this specific for Booking.com. You now have 3 available policies inside of the Channel Pro. And again, this is at account level for all of your properties by default or per individual property from the accommodation activation screen. So once again, this is going to offer you flexibility, the importance of providing the guest with choice. So the default policy, this will be in effect your most flexible of policies. You will have this option if you do not use a non-refundable policy as your default. Again, from the statistics shown by Sharon, it's a great tool to use, or certainly a good way of using a more flexible policy, especially with those new filters inside of Booking.com and the home screen there to ensure that these flexible policies are being shown to the guest. Second to that is the alternative policy that will allow you to provide possibly a stricter policy in terms of the conditions, in terms of the number of days before check-in where the guest can cancel free of charge. And by applying this alternative policy, you can set an additional discount. So again, you're giving the guest 2 options, your default more flexible policy, and perhaps a slightly more strict policy with a slight discount as well. And on top of those 2 policy options, you also have the option of a non-refundable policy. So again, including a further discount for a completely non-refundable price. So what you're providing there to the guest, in effect, is 3 different policies available inside of the advert and leaving it up to them to make a choice. So it may be the case that they're quite happy to book on a non-refundable rate, which is going to guarantee you the booking, but at a slightly cheaper price. But using those flexible policies, again, it is really paramount to understand your market, understand those trends, how many bookings you're going to be receiving with more flexible terms. Now, within the Channel Pro, we also now have the Performance Center. So this identifies ways, in the same way as the performance statistics inside of Booking.com, to improve your performance. So there will be tips shown inside the Channel Pro that will allow you to add products, information, and specific offers. And again, this will be based per property, and this is using the information provided by Booking.com. So again, rather than entering the extranet of Booking.com to see this kind of information, you can see this directly from one place inside of the Channel Pro. Okay, so here you can optimize your listings, you can review these tips provided from the Performance Center and implement them if you wish. Now, as I mentioned, one of the key developments of late, in which we are already fully developed and using a number of pilots just to confirm and ensure everything is working as planned, are the available promotions inside again of the Channel Pro. So we currently have 6 promotions available, each of which I'll quickly run through and just explain a little bit to how they can be generated and implemented directly from Avantio. The non-refundable rate, as I mentioned, this will be applicable from the cancellation policy. So if you do apply this, you will also have the option inside of the Channel Pro to apply the non-refundable rate as an additional rate plan or as a promotion. So you're going to have those 2 options when generating this non-refundable rate. The same will apply for mobile rates and geo rates. So if you're using the mobile rates, and again, as Sharon mentioned, the number of bookings, excuse me, have a drink of water. The mobile rate plans, you'll be able to configure directly from the Channel Pro. So this will allow you to apply those promotions directly. The geo rates are certainly more important when understanding the number of bookings and where they're coming from. So you can take into account the government restrictions, local authority changes in where travellers can be coming from to apply specific promotions for those types of guests. The Business Booker is available for all of those properties that are not Genius or are not eligible for Genius discounts. So again, you can apply this directly from the channel manager or the channel pro as a promotion. And as explained by Sharon, the Genius rates will provide additional visibility from ranking boosts and visibility, or greater visibility in the search results. But if they're not eligible for these, then of course you can use the Business Booker promotion as well. Finally, the last minute and early booking promotions. These will actually be applied from inside of the VRMS. So your different discounts and supplement options, as you will know from use perhaps on your website, the last minute and early booking discounts have always been available for the web. They're now going to be available to apply for Booking.com as well. So these can be set up in the same way as a non-refundable discount. You can apply these as an additional promotion or as a rate as well. So what we're going to do with the promotions, this will be launched officially within the coming weeks. We're going to notify you via email once these promotions are available. We'll also include a short video to explain how the promotions work. And of course, our support pages will be updated with more information in terms of the configuration of each of these promotions directly from the channel manager, or in fact from the VRMS. Okay. So that kind of brings me to the end of a pretty short presentation in terms of how we can implement different features and actions from inside of the Channel Pro. I think really just as a summary and to kind of sum up what we've discussed throughout the whole promotion or the whole presentation is key to understanding the number of bookings or the type of bookings you're receiving, understanding the current trends and the analysis of that. You can certainly utilize the great tools within the extranet of Booking.com to get a good idea of those. And then you can apply promotions, different occupancy rules, minimum stays, and so on from the Channel Pro to implement those. Okay, so I'll open up, I think Carl will jump back in and we can run through any questions that you may have or have had during this presentation. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Matthew, and thank you, Sharon. Yeah, we've got a couple of questions. Still time to add your question if you'd like to. The first question we had was from Andy, which he asked about whilst we were looking at the different promotions via Booking.com. So he said, are all of these features available in Booking.com if we are connected via Avantio Channel Manager? In other words, although they're available to update in the Channel Manager, will I still be able to update them inside the Booking.com extranet?
You will, Andy, yes. So you will still have the option to apply these promotions directly from the extranet of Booking.com. The idea and the development behind the promotions module inside the Channel Pro, as I mentioned, just to reduce time in applying these directly from Avantio from one place. But if you do wish to activate these directly from Booking.com, you can continue to do so.
Okay, very good. A question from Alexandra, who I think made the question when we were looking at the graphics in the Channel Manager Pro, which was very good to highlight that because it is a useful tool. She asks, do I also see the bookings coming from the VRMS? So sort of my own manual bookings or direct bookings, are they kind of configured and taken into account there? I think the answer is no, isn't it?
Currently not. So the information provided in the different charts and graphs within the Channel Pro, this will be information of automatic bookings coming from your connected channels. So for the moment, this certainly doesn't include manually added bookings or bookings from your website. But I know the website bookings are going to be something we're looking at adding. Again, this is just going to give you greater visibility and understanding of not only your bookings from your connected channels, but from your own website as well. But that's something certainly for the future.
Yeah, very much hope so. Obviously, you know, your own website is a channel in itself, and arguably the most important one, you know, potentially in how you look at it. So I hope we can do something there. We do have an integration with a data company called Key Data Dashboard. I'll put it in the chat here. So Key Data Dashboard we have an integration with them. So what they do is they have a very advanced system where you can create your own reports and dashboards based on a whole bunch of different KPIs. And so they will be pulling from Avantio all of the booking data from Avantio into their platform, key data dashboard. So if, you know, that is something that is very important for you, and you like to analyze graphs and pacing and average daily rates, then perhaps you could have a look at them and do a demo with them. There really are, you know, some of the industry leaders on this, the chosen data partner of the VRMA, very good people as well, good people. So yeah, have a look at them if data and dashboards and graphs is your thing. But as Matthew said, hopefully at some stage in the future we can get in the website direct bookings inside those graphics as well, inside the Channel Manager Pro. Okay, let's have a look here. A question, another one from Alexandra. Regarding the cancellation policies, the question, we cannot, e.g. in the summer season, we use the default policy, and in the winter we use the alternative policy. Well, I think maybe she could clarify it, but I think the idea is that these default and the alternative policies are running parallel, right? That's the whole idea, Sharon. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. It's really beneficial to have multiple rate plans set up, just so that you're capturing all of the demand that's coming through. So we know at the minute that about 3/4 of the bookings are coming through on a flexible policy. So really good to have a flexible policy to target those customers, but also to have a non-refundable to really help, because we know that there are still some bookings coming through on non-refundable, and having both rate plans will just help to give the customer a choice.
Great. Okay, thank you. So yes, the default and the alternative are there to offer an alternative exactly in the same season, right? Yeah, very good. On a similar topic, Andy also asks, he says, it's great to hear we can now add the non-refundable as a rate plan and not a promotion. Can we add a release until time/date? So I think he's referring to the release then. In other words, the time between me booking the property and arriving in the property.
No, I think what he's getting at with the non-refundable rate is when creating the non-refundable option, it's obviously non-refundable at all times. The guest would then have their default cancellation policy, for instance, free of charge until 30 days. But within that 30-day period, where it's 100% charged, the non-refundable price is being shown. So the guest is showing, in effect, within the last 30 days, the guest is actually seeing a non-refundable rate as configured as your default. But it's actually non-refundable conditions, but with that further discount applied. It's not something we've got at the moment. It's not something I'm not sure if it's something we can add. I understand if I'm right in what I'm saying is, yeah, you're looking at the period to kind of apply that up until, in that case, 30 days or whatever it may be, 14 days before check-in, to kind of fall in line with your default conditions as well. But that's not something we do currently have.
Just to add on that, it is something that you can request through your extranet inbox, if you need that from the booking.com side.
Great, well, that's good to know.
Just in terms of the option of adding that as a promotion or as a rate plan as well. One of the ideas behind having it as a promotion for those that have multiple units and quite a lot of different room types within the same hotel ID, it was to ensure that we were not duplicating all of the rate plans with that non-refundable rate, which of course would then exceed the number of rate plans allowed per hotel and per room inside of booking.com. So if you are one of those that has a lot of different rooms within the same hotel ID, the promotion works quite well in that respect. But if it's just one property and you'd rather have them as a rate plan, you can do so directly.
Okay, very good. Bit of a tricky one, maybe, for you, Sharon. What are Booking.com doing to stop guests booking more than one property for the same dates? Throw that one over to you.
Yes, it's a really valid question, and a lot, I don't know, from the UK, it's been in the media quite a bit this week. It's not good for us as a company if we have huge number of bookings from the same customer for different stays, and especially, you know, if it's people are booking domestic and international at the same time. I don't know how well it's known, but we do have a program called Perfectly Overlapping Bookings. It's a program where customers, if they book more than 2 stays and on the same dates, then if they try and book another one, we would actually shield or shadow the policies so that the customer wouldn't be able to book a third booking. They would just see a non-refundable for that. Even if the property had a free cancellation policy, they wouldn't be able to see that free cancellation policy because they've already got 2 bookings at the same dates. We also do have notifications as well on the homepage of the customers whenever they log into their account to remind them, you've got 2 bookings at the same dates, like please cancel one. But luckily it's not, you know, we don't see a huge amount of bookings coming through on this as well.
Okay, thank you for that. Good to know. Maybe just a clarification of a question I asked on behalf of Alexandra. Potentially she was asking for 1 cancellation policy in winter and 1 in summer. Is there an option for that?
Not inside of the Channel Pro. The available options for the cancellation policy, as we mentioned, will be applicable at all times. So a default cancellation policy in addition to the alternative, and then followed by the non-refundable, in effect, they'd be applicable at all times during the year.
Okay. That's nothing we can do from the Booking.com extranet, is there, on that? It's all year round, is it?
Yeah, it would be the standard rate would be an all year round policy. The only way sort of to get around it would be to set up 2 rate plans and then close out one for summer and the other one for winter. But it's a bit tricky. Okay.
And maybe the final question here, I'm not sure if it was answered earlier, but it's from Ian. And it says, can we limit the time window a promotion is available, or will it be for all future bookings?
Yeah, so what we're going to include in the promotions module is in terms of the dates, you'll be able to block periods, and they'll be available for a certain time in the future. So we're going to clarify all of that in the launch notification, the communication that we'll send out to you. So this will include a lot more information as to the setup inside of the Channel Pro. But yes, you will be able to limit dates, block dates, and so on. So we'll certainly give you the steps of how to include that.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Matthew. Okay, well, that's our lot on the questions. So it's been great to have you with us, Sharon. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks very much for having me over.
Pleasure. Hope to have you back in the future. We're certainly very much looking forward to launching this for Avantio customers and giving them more options to play with the promotions and all the things that we spoke about today. Do take a look inside your Booking.com extranet. It seems like there's a lot of good information in there. Seems like they've been working hard on that. And we shall, as Matthew mentioned, be communicating the official launch of the promotional tools inside the Avantio Channel Manager, and we'll have all of the details and all of the explanations coming soon. So do keep an eye out for that. thank you for joining us today, and have a very good day on behalf of all of us. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Take care.
Thanks very much. Bye. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.